Bam, bam. 15 minutes of heat here for your ass right here on a Friday. Tobin and Leroy taking you up until 10 o'clock today.
I can't wait till we can get some 60 minutes of heat.
Man, I can't wait either. It's exciting. NBA announced their plan to come back yesterday. Heat are going to the championship. Can't wait.
They haven't announced their regular season schedule yet, right?
I don't think so, but it don't matter. It's all good, baby. We got this one nailed. It's basically a home game. It's in Orlando. You know that the Heat take over the Magic Building whenever they want. So it's all good, baby. It's good. You guys can vote on our poll right now. We actually got a few polls that we've come up late with. Heat player you'd most like to spend the day at Disney World with. You can add other options to the replies if you guys want to as well. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Goran Dragic, or Tyler Hero. Early returns as Jimmy Butler in the lead. I'm kind of surprised by that. Who's going to cause more of a ruckus?
Well, I mean, look.
Who causes more of a ruckus?
Everybody wants to go to park with somebody who's going to keep it real. Jimmy Butler going to have.
Somebody mentioned going to Epcot with Jimmy Butler would be fun, and I agree with that. Drinking with Jimmy Butler does seem like it would be fun. Doing that wine tour with him. Who causes more of a ruckus at Disney World? Derek Jeter or Tua Tagovailoa? Tua with the early lead, but it is early returns right now.
Are you
what? And if they fought on pay-per-view, who you got? Canelo Alvarez or 53-year-old Mike Tyson? This one we've had up a little bit longer. 53-year-old Mike Tyson right now, leading the way, 66%.
Are you kidding me?
I am surprised by that.
First of all, the size.
Dude, he's 53 and he can't get through a round.
He won't have to.
You're crazy.
He almost killed a guy hitting him with a stomach punch.
I'm telling you, man, I think Canelo gives him the business.
Really?
The business.
So you think Canelo would do to Tyson what I think Manny Pacquiao would do to just anybody? Just bap, 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 bap. Just.
Somebody says, I asked my fiance and she responded, Derek Jones Jr. before I even finished saying Jimmy Butler's name.
Really?
That's interesting.
Wow.
Derek Jones Jr., huh?
You would have to hold him in. He'd slip out of the rides.
I feel like Tyler Hero would be the worst one. Here's why. Because at Disney World, you got to do a lot of walking around. And Tyler Hero, he's gonna have his new lady friend, his new IG mom. Yeah, and they're young, fresh in love, and so what's gonna happen is as you're walking around, every 5 minutes they're gonna stop to do PDA, and you're like, "Hey, bro, come on, let's get moving."
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, that's funny. As far as the Heat's concerned, so we were talking about this earlier. I think that this is setting up the Heat ripe to pick Giannis right off the Bucks. I think it puts them in prime position because you're not going to have the turnaround that you could that you possibly need in a regular season where you could sulk a little bit, you could make it a thing. So I think that it puts them in prime position, Leroy, with this shortened up season.
I cannot believe
and
this silly talk, dude.
What are you talking? You've been saying that about everything today. You're like, oh, the silly talk.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
Well,
you think it.
Do you? Wait, you're unfamiliar with your work. That's it. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm dealing with right there. That's it.
Short up break between seasons makes it easier to sign Giannis.
No. And why? Wait. Is that like a holy water sprinkler? It's like because I felt like I need to say amen after you said that.
Amen. Rather be with you and also with you.
How many of your claims have come true? Because every time, first of all, let's not forget, if it were up to you, we wouldn't have Jimmy Butler.
Not true.
Really?
I said may have dodged a bullet. Totally
but
different.
The fact that you have him mentioned with dodging something means you don't want him.
Not true. It said maybe this is don't forget, you gotta worry.
He went from may have dodged the bullet to Heat lifer.
You gotta worry about the fake news out there, the fake media, and they spin things out there. And what they were doing was they were propping up propaganda against Jimmy Butler, where he was a bad teammate, and it turns out he's actually the best teammate. I've seen it firsthand. So, maybe that's on me because I got duped, but maybe they should be a little bit more responsible with their reporting. Nick Friedel, Rachel Nichols. They're all putting all these stories out. Sensationalism journalism, where they're going out there. That's why you got to be a more regulated journalist like me. I put these questions, I put the squeeze on people. Really get the facts.
Dana, what are your impressions of the South Florida crowd tonight? It's been a while since you guys have been here.
Really squeeze the get. What are we gonna do? We're just do crazy Jimmy Butler interviews right after practices where he humiliates Andrew Wiggins. Come on, what are we doing here, huh?
Yeah.
Did you see this though? This was interesting.
I know one thing.
Yeah.
After this week, this was a rough week. Things we had to discuss and whatever. And you sending me off on Friday with a much-needed 2-day break. You got Starbucks?
My wife just delivered it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't have a kitchen right now.
Why?
It's getting remodeled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a lot.
You looking in there like your wife is doing it.
Well, no, I'm looking in there right now because I'm like, I didn't expect the damage to be done this bad with the demo.
Oh, no, they can tear some stuff up quick.
I was surprised. Kind of shook me. So the kids, they're at the in-laws right now. I was staying here just to guard my house.
I bet you your favorite ride at Disney is Aquaman.
I hope they don't have that. I don't know if that exists.
My favorite ride's Splash Mountain. I like Splash Mountain.
You know what? In those 3D rides, some of them I'm cool, and some of them I get a little seasick.
The last
motion
3D
sickness.
What's the last 3D ride you went on?
What, Spider-Man?
No, the last 3D ride was Transformers.
Oh
I
yeah,
on Transformers.
I go to Universal. I don't have little kids, so they don't care about.
Yeah, I went to Universal once with Sophia when she was really young, but I haven't been back since.
Harry Potter. I tell you what,
man.
My nephew, he is tough as nails. He went on Rip Rock and Rocket or whatever you call that thing. You know what it is? The thing with the music that shoots straight up.
Yeah, in fact, you're not allowed to have your personal belongings on. You have to put or else they'll fall out. They'll fall out on the ride.
Right. He'll go on. He was about 10 at the time. He would go on that 1,000 times. And guess what? He cried. The Mummy. Because you know why? Because when you go into the actual building, they play this dark and gloomy music. He was terrified. The music got him. Walking through the caves almost to get to the thing. Because they have 1,000 turns. When you think you're going into the building, you think, we're close. No, you're not.
Speaking of 3D rides, I don't know if this still exists anymore. I haven't been in a while, but do they still have the Back to the Future one?
Yep. That's a classic, along with Men in Black. Those two will always be there. What ride is bum ass? Twister.
I've never been on Twister.
You go in there, you stand, and you watch, and you shake a little bit, and they spritz some water on you, and then the wind blows really hard, and you're out. It's like they're trying to get you to experience a Twister.
Yeah, that's like when you go to the Museum of Science and they put you in the little chamber with the hurricane winds. You get that experience there. You don't have to go to Universal for that.
Wow, I'm not even going there.
What?
Nope, not doing it.
I see the text.
Funny. That's too far, even for me.
I appreciate that.
All right.
You so wanted to.
I want to, though. I want to read it. The people have to be represented.
Somebody says Josh McRoberts would probably say, screw the theme park. Let's go around the theme park and have a spirit quest. PETA is already on board.
Jeez. Where is Josh McRoberts?
Spirit quest.
Definitely in Montana somewhere in a tent, finding the meaning of life.
Him and Phil Jackson are trying to float.
It's a wild thing. I will give you one heat note here. This was in Barry Jackson's column. He said that there's a lot of support from coaches to re-sign Meyers Leonard this summer. Reasons being is he's a team-oriented player who understands the defensive principles. He allows the Heat to space the floor and is viewed as an ideal complement to Bam. He's a 39% career 3-point shooting percentage is the highest of any NBA player over 7 feet. That one kicked my ass. And Miami was 34-15 with him, 7-9 without him this year, Leroy.
Yep.
So a lot of support. The plus minuses with him on the floor with the starters too. I mean, they've been outscoring teams like crazy with Meyers Leonard. Look, I know a lot of people they criticize Meyers Leonard because he's not like a defensive stopper, like who's going to go and block shots and whatnot, but they were better with him. I mean, for whatever reason, some things just fit better, and he did to start the quarters. Like he did fit with that team. Like he wasn't closing a lot of games, for sure, but that Spo's a guy who likes to fit. Now, are they going to break the bank on him? I doubt it. But and so then you got to ask like, well,
I don't think they have to.
What's going to be out there for Meyers Leonard? Because center market, it's a lot like running backs now. It's like now the difference is he can shoot. So
listen,
I can see somebody giving him a long-term deal, but I don't think that's going to be a huge deal. So it depends what he values. I don't know. I think like you said, he's a guy I could see like with the stuff. He's going to take biggest offer, I would think, for sure.
Right. Well, no. How long? He's been in the league for a minute, right?
Not that long. He's only had one contract. He's right now in the final year, I think I think it's like 4 years, $28 million or something like that. Like he's getting like $7 million a year, I think.
So he'll get probably 10 to 15 a year.
Let me get his contract up right now. Meyers Leonard. He is in the 4-year, $41 million deal. He makes $11 million this year.
All right, so the Heat may be able to get him for the same contract, maybe a little bump up.
I think for 4 years though they're going to do that kind of commitment, or do you think they would do something like because it feels like you got the guys.
Tobin,
what?
Why do you do this?
Because
you got to give him a competitive deal.
Well, I'm
like
asking
here.
Think about this way. I'm asking if they're willing to do that. If you're a team that values flexibility and you want to have a crack at Giannis, are they going to commit to anybody like Meyers Leonard long term?
But some of the things that you suggest to have options in 2 years, right?
It's
to have options for something that may not happen means you're doing your franchise a disservice now. So that can't be. You can't look if the chances of getting. What would you say the chances of getting Giannis are?
I'm gonna stick it at a good 43%.
43%. So you're willing to sacrifice your franchise and your basketball team.
It's not sacrificing your franchise. I love Meyers Leonard. The dude has been a very positive influence in the Heat. It's not sacrificing your franchise.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, he's not a franchise maker. But what I'm saying is sacrificing what you're building on and what you're doing in hopes of getting a guy that you have a slim chance of getting. You got to keep playing.
Well, there's got to be choices between him, Goran, Derek Jones Jr., Jay Crowder. I don't think they're going to go and you have probably the Bam extension. I don't think they're going to go and throw long-term money at all of those guys.
No, they're not. They're not. But who's most important? Derek Jones Jr. of that crew?
I think Goran.
You think Goran is?
Yeah.
Well, because here, now let me throw this into the mix. You let Goran go, and then you get Oladipo.
No, because that's not gonna mess up. Oladipo's not eligible for another year. You can't sign him this offseason.
Okay. But yeah. So of all those guys, you think Goran's the most important guy?
Yes.
See, I would say no.
He's the most important guy who I think would stay for a short-term deal. I think Goran's 35. I think he likes it here. I think if you gave Goran a big fat 1-year deal, I don't think it's an issue.
Right. I can see that.
Derek, I think is probably.
Here,
I think I can see.
You know what's funny? You make these contracts, and you come up with these contracts that fit what the Heat want to do.
I'm a capologist,
but never take the player into consideration. You just assume that a guy would take that.
I don't assume. I'm saying of the guys most like I wouldn't expect Meyers Leonard at his age to take a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal. I would expect
at least you're being reasonable there.
I would say if someone offers him a 4-year deal, especially with the Cavs, I would say, oh yeah, he's probably going to take that. Jay Crowder, probably the same thing.
Right.
Derek Jones Jr. I think is right to get plucked away, but I kind of feel like they're gonna try and do some of the KZ Okpala stuff with him, like that. That's like where they're gonna hope like they'll give those like little minutes to him and see if they could baby feed it and see if he becomes that. Even though I know he does want to stay here, but I don't know what do you pay a Derek Jones Jr. to stay? But you did put all the work into him. You didn't just make it. You took it from a.
It's happened before. It's happened before. And you just deal with it and you move on. Like, but I think you have to understand. See,
I will miss his dunks if he leaves. I love.
You have your star. You have your stars, okay? But you have your role players, and so many times we underestimate the importance of those role players and what the team does, and it ends up hurting the team. So, of all those guys, you would say Goran is the most important guy coming off the bench and what he does coming off the bench.
Yes.
Okay. Whereas if you look at what Meyers Leonard does, what are you going to do for size?
I don't know. I would just say I just think you're going to just try and find a guy.
So to me, who are the guys that are most easily replaced? All the other guys. Meyers Leonard, a 7-footer that can shoot threes. That's not,
But he doesn't take that many shots though. Like he's.
But that's
not.
No.
You're paying for. You're kind of paying for glue guy. That's kind of that's what his role's been.
But
he's been good at it,
and his numbers are good.
Yeah, they've been good.
So it's not just the glue guy. It just is, in addition to being a glue guy, this guy has these numbers to go with it.
I tell you what though, this is the reason that I wish there was kind of a real playoffs, because I would like to know what this team. I want to know like what everybody's responses is in the playoffs. How does everybody
real
play?
Playoff? It is a real playoff.
It's a kind of fugazi playoffs though. Like we got.
Hey, let me ask you this. All these teams are going to get together with the same rules, right? The same playoff situation. They're all going through the same thing. So they're all in the same boat as if they were traveling all over.
Understood, but this team's been very Jekyll and Hyde on the road and home. So
right. So you think them playing just up the road is like away?
I don't know. I'm curious to see what the response is going to be. But yeah, they've been way better at home this year, especially the way those shooters have kind of fed off the energy of the crowd. It's been very noticeable how different they are away from American Airlines Arena.
Okay, but here, think about this. Who they would play in the first round, it's safe to say they're going to be better than. It's going to be close, but let's just give them the edge.
Okay, they're better than the Raptors, the
right.
Celtics, the Sixers, the Pacers, the Bucks,
right.
Nets. Yeah, I think that's it.
So, that being said, right, this wouldn't even come to fruition until the second round anyway.
Maybe.
And in the second round, they wouldn't have the home field advantage with anyone. That being said, okay, it's almost a blessing in disguise that they don't have to play those games on the road because they don't have home court advantage anyway.
Maybe. We don't know. I don't know. It's going to be.
You don't know.
We don't know. We don't know how the response is going to be in this weirdo gym in Disney World. There's going to be caricatures running around
just
the
like
place.
everybody else's. What about the teams? They only got to drive up the road. What about the teams? They got to come all the way from the West Coast.
What are we going to crank up the excuse machine for those guys?
I'm not. I'm telling you why the Heat have a chance, regardless of the home and away thing. You're the one that's saying it sucks they can't play at home. They're only going to play at home for one.
It's not sucks that they can't play at home. It's just I think it's hard to get it's going to be hard to get a gauge of what they are.
Why? It's basketball.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Why?
It's just not. It's not going to be the same having not having the environments of going into hostile places.
I would argue with you and say it's going to be a better indication in in a neutral environment than it would with them having their struggles on the road.
Maybe, but what value is that going to have for the future of the team? Because they're not
Basketball's basketball.
Nah. Presumably, we're not going to be playing in pandemic conditions the rest of our lives.
If everybody's playing under the same conditions and the Heat prevail over somebody else, are you going to say, oh, that's because it wasn't a true road game or it wasn't a true home game? The other team's going through the same thing. They're all in the same boat.
Situation. I can't call that yet.
There's not a situation. I'm telling you what the situation is. If everybody's playing under the same conditions and you win, you are better.